Hi everybody, and welcome back to the Creative Kindergarten YouTube channel. My name is Amanda and I'm an early childhood educator in Ontario, Canada, and this is video number 4 in a 5-part video series all about the kindergarten classroom environment. I've talked about using themes in your classroom environment, I've talked about what's on your walls, I've talked about storage for materials in your kindergarten classroom, and today on my 4th video I'm going to be talking about books that I think you should have in your kindergarten classroom. I'll share with you some specific titles, but I'm thinking talking a little bit more in general of the types of books that I like to have in my room, and my knowledge and my understanding of like books and the materials we should have in our classroom is constantly evolving. So even though like right now these are the types of books that I think you should have in your classroom, I don't think that this is an exhaustive list by any means. It's just some of the things that I think about when I'm picking books for my kindergarten classroom. So one of the types of books that I love to have in my room are books that, will teach or help teach a skill or a topic. So if I look through the books that I have here, I have this book that is all about length. So this book will help us, discuss length. It has real pictures included in the books. All these math count books, there's like a whole series of them. All of them are really great and have like real pictures on the inside to talk about different concepts. This is just the length one, but there's all kinds of them as well. I also like books, especially, I have the pattern one here as well. So again, the math counts books are really great for showing like real pictures when you're trying to teach a concept in your kindergarten classroom. Another one that I love is like any kind of like alphabet books. I love these for the beginning of the year to read to students, to have out at literacy centers. So, when we're learning about different letters, I can put books out for them to read. And there's lots of different alphabet books. This Alphabet Under Construction one is great. There's ABC Mindful Me, which also teaches about mindfulness in the classroom, which is great because it's like teaching about the alphabet and about mindfulness is such a great like combination to use in a classroom. I love that. Other things that I like to have is like if it were teaching us not even just a skill, but if there's like an area in the classroom like the block center, I love having books to go with different areas. So if we have a building center, I might put this with the building center. I always love to have books to go along with the different centers that I have in the classroom. So when I'm picking out books, I might try to find books that teach a certain concept or that, will serve as a provocation for learning in the classroom and things like that. Books that would inspire students for art or for loose parts or for things just like that. Like those inspirational books that teach concepts can be used for provocations. Another aspect of picking out books that I always like to consider as well is we want to ensure that we have books that provide windows and mirrors for the students in our classroom. This is a concept that I've talked about multiple times over on my Instagram and on a podcast. I will put a podcast link for that down below if you'd like to check that out. This is a concept by Dr. Bishop, the windows, mirrors, and sliding glass doors. I will link her essay about it in the description down below for you. If you have not had a chance to read it yet, I highly recommend it. But basically, I'm just going to summarize the concept really quickly, is that students need mirrors for books in the classroom that reflect back on them, so they see themselves reflected in the books that you have. But we also need windows so that they see into the lived experiences in the world of other people as well. So you need a good mix of both in your classroom in order to, really have a positive impact on the sense of belonging of the students in your classroom. So I have been slowly collecting a lot of great books around this sense of belonging and making sure that I'm having books that are both windows and mirrors for the students in my classroom. The two that I have just recently purchased, and that's why I picked them out, is Brown, The Many Shades of Love. I read through this book and I absolutely fell in love with the words in this book. So this is a great one, and I hope I'm pronouncing this properly. It's a Mitig, is by an Indigenous author, and the words are written, some of the words are written in Anishinaabe, and there is a audio version that you can also listen to so that you're making sure you're pronouncing the words properly. I literally just got this, so I have not yet listened to it with the correct pronunciations yet. That's why I'm hoping I'm pronouncing the title of the book properly, but I will be listening to the proper pronunciation so that when I'm reading it, I'm actually conveying the words in a proper way. But those are two books that I've recently purchased about that, but really reflecting on our classroom environment to ensure that we both have those windows and mirrors for the students in our room. So those are kind of like what I'm thinking about when I'm purchasing books for the classroom, and being really reflective of them and making sure that, you know, we're not reinforcing any negative stereotypes in the books that we are reading and having in our classroom, and we're making sure that like the books are reflective of the students in our classroom. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you go watch the 3 videos that I've done before this. Make sure you're subscribed so that you get notified when I put out my last video in this series. And make sure you check out the show notes for all of those, the podcast episode where I did on books in the classroom, and the essay by Dr. Bishop. I'm pretty sure that's the name of the person who wrote that essay. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel, hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, leave me a comment. What are your favorite books to have in the classroom? I'd love to hear it. I'm always looking for new titles to add to my collection, so make sure that you leave me some great book suggestions in the comments. And I want to say thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great one. Bye.